In recent years, the emergence of polar bear-grizzly bear hybrids, or grolar bears, has sparked debates about the impact of climate change on polar bear populations. While some suggest that the rise in hybridization is a direct consequence of dwindling polar bear numbers, this narrative oversimplifies and misinterprets the biological processes involved. Upon closer examination, the logic of increasing hybridization as a sign of near extinction collapses under scientific scrutiny. Hybridization between species is an exceptionally rare occurrence in nature, particularly for large predators with distinct ecological niches, such as polar bears and grizzly bears. Even when such hybrids are observed, they tend to occur in overlapping territories under specific conditions rather than as a regular phenomenon. Successful hybridization is further constrained by significant differences in behavior, mating preferences, and genetic compatibility between species. The claim that hybridization signals the endangerment of a species contradicts the reality of reproductive behavior. Shrinking populations, rather than turning to interspecies mating as a last resort, tend to become more conservative in mate selection. Fertile individuals in declining populations prioritize intraspecies mating to maintain genetic integrity and ensure the survival of their unique traits. This instinct is a far cry from the opportunistic interbreeding implied by the hybridization narrative. Many big cats, such as tigers, lions, and leopards, are classified as endangered. Hybridization between these species is biologically possible and has been observed in captivity, where natural barriers to mating are removed. Yet in the wild, such events remain vanishingly rare, even as these populations face significant pressures. The scarcity of hybridization among big cats in the wild is primarily due to reduced encounters caused by population declines, as well as the lack of any natural motivation for interspecies breeding. Instead, it often reinforces reproductive isolation, as individuals instinctively seek mates within their own species to optimize genetic fitness. If hybridization were a natural response to population shrinkage, we would expect to see a surge in big cat hybrids, which is demonstrably not the case. Even in cases where the population of one species involved in hybridization is on the rise, hybridization incidents do not increase when the population of the other species remains in decline. Dog-wolf hybridization commonly occurs in areas where human settlements and wild habitats overlap. However, a decline in wolf numbers has never been signaled by an increase in wolf-dog populations. Similarly, the rapid rise of domestic pig and feral hog hybrids across North America in recent years does not indicate a shrinking feral hog population. It is also essential to distinguish between the avoidance of inbreeding and the aversion to hybridization. In small populations, individuals often develop strategies to prevent inbreeding, such as dispersal or mate selection mechanisms that favor unrelated members of their own species. These behaviors promote genetic diversity without compromising species identity. In contrast, hybridization with a foreign species poses different risks. Hybrid offspring are often less viable or maladapted to their environment, making such unions a poor evolutionary strategy. Thus, while small populations strive to diversify their gene pool within the species, they simultaneously avoid the genetic and ecological pitfalls of interspecies breeding. The increase in polar bear-grizzly bear hybrids likely reflects an expansion in the range and health of both species, not the demise of one. Grizzly bear populations have been growing and expanding into territories previously dominated by polar bears, leading to more frequent encounters. The presence of hybrids is a testament to this interaction, but does not necessarily imply a crisis for polar bears. It is crucial to approach such observations with scientific rigor rather than attributing them to convenient narratives. Hybridization in the wild is a complex phenomenon that requires careful examination of population dynamics, environmental conditions, and behavioral ecology. Oversimplifying these processes undermines our understanding of the natural world and risks distorting the conversation about conservation. Conclusion: the suggestion that increasing hybridization signals the endangerment of a species is not supported by biological evidence. Historical parallels, such as the lack of hybrid surges among endangered big cats, reinforce the understanding that species under pressure prioritize intraspecies reproduction to preserve their genetic identity. By conflating hybridization with population decline, we risk misinterpreting vital ecological data and diverting attention from the true challenges faced by these species. Rather than succumbing to flawed logic, we must base our conservation efforts on sound science and a nuanced understanding of nature's complexities. Only then can we address the genuine threats to biodiversity with the clarity and effectiveness they deserve.